We're looking at a problem here that involves both quarters and dimes. It's a word problem, and we want to find out how many of each we have, given that we have $4.50 in total. Okay, so I'm going to highlight the information now that is relevant in this question. Well, obviously the quantity we have, and we know it's in quarters and dimes, is important. And we're told that we have, in terms of the number of quarters, we have 6 more than twice the number of dimes. How many quarters and dimes does Derek have? So based on that question, that's how we're going to formulate our let statements. So I'm going to begin with the x variable. I'm going to say let x represent the number of quarters. The number of quarters. I'll just say Q for quarters. And in terms of the number of dimes, I'm going to say let y represent the number of dimes. So I'll just copy this, put it here, and instead of x, I'm going to write y for dimes, and instead of Q, I'm going to write D for dimes. So those are our let statements, which is, half the battle. Next is formulating the equations themselves. So what we know is that the total amount we have is $4.50. In other words, if I were to multiply the number of quarters I have by the value of the quarters, so the number of quarters by the value, which is 25 cents in this case, and I add the number of dimes times the value of dimes, so this is the number of dimes, that's their value, 10 cents obviously, I'm going to get 450 cents. I'm going to write 450, not $4.50, because I want to use one unit of money. And in this case, I'm just going to use cents. So that's the first equation. The second equation relates to the quantity only. So this is just about the value. Now, in terms of the quantity, I am told that the number of quarters is 6 more than twice the number of dimes. In other words, the number of quarters, x, is equal to 6 more, so plus 6, I'll write this over here, twice the number of dimes. So there's our second equation. Equation 1 and 2, the second one relating quantity. Okay, now I'm going to solve this system using substitution because in this case, the variable x is isolated already, and I can just plug it straight into the equation. So what I get here is 25 in bracket, 2y plus 6, close bracket, plus 10y is equal to 450. And I'm going to solve for y now by multiplying in the 25. So I get 50y plus 150 plus 10y equals 450. Combining my like terms, I'm going to combine the 50 and the 10. That gives me 60y. And then the 450 subtract the 150 is going to give me 300. So final step here, divide both sides by 60. Divide by 60 here as well. Cancel, cancel. And I end up with y is equal to 5 because 60 goes into 300 5 times. So that gives me the number of dimes I have. I know I have 5 dimes. To find out the number of quarters, I simply take this y equals 5 and substitute it into this equation here. So what's that going to look like? Well, I have x equals 2 times 5 plus 6. If you do the math, you end up with 16. So to conclude, we have 5 dimes, that was the y value, and 16 quarters. And there you have it. There is your final answer to the number of quarters and dimes we have in $4.50.